So hello students, yesterday I have given the theoretical model and I explained all the details of a Penton turbine. Right now with you, this is the complete model of Penton turbine which is now in your own lab. Yes, yesterday I had told that there should be a big reservoir with a big dam where water reserves is there. But this is not possible for us because this is a lab. So to place the dam and reserves of water, what we have done here in this experiment, here there is a motor as well as a centrifugal pump placed in that equipment, and the function of the pump, the motor is actually why it is connected. Now it gives electrical power to the pump. So pump, what it does, now it pumps water from a soft level, from the reservoir to the turbine through this pipe. So the objective of the pump is to create the head of water like a dam water. Suppose the dam water head is 200 meters. So the pump is the capacity of the pump should be like that. It will generate the water head, means the pressure of the water to create a head of 200 meter head. So next from here. So once water comes, flow through the upward, and this is called as a venturi meter. Venturi meter means it has two area. One is converging area, this one is diverging area. So, and this is the throat. And within this, the discharge means the volume of the liquid pumped per minute or per second is measured. So this is the venturi meter. So now this is the penstock. Penstock means this is the, now from this to this part, this is considered the dam. The whole dam. The dam is replaced by this part. Now, latter part is your penstock. Means water is flowing through the penstock from the dam. Now, here it is already going through the casing of the turbine. Through what? Not through the nozzle. I cannot show the nozzle because it is inside. But the flow of water can be controlled through this spear control, where this is the spear control. And at any moment, you can change the velocity of water. Now, exactly what happened? See, once the water enters through this turbine casing, so inside turbine casing, the rotor is there, a runner is there. So above the runner, on the periphery of the runner, the blades are just, look at, number of bucket or blades or vanes are there. And thus this is facing to the nozzle. As nozzle you can see easily here inside the nozzle. So once we start the machine, then water comes from the pump and with the generated head of 200 meters above that and enter through the nozzle, and when it strikes the vane one by one, then it starts rotating. And water splashing out from this, each bucket will be collected through this casing, and once again it will enter to the reservoir. So this is a closed circuit. Water enters and goes. This is a closed circuit equipment. So my objective is, or the objective of this experiment, to know the efficiency of the turbine. As I have told in the last class yesterday, efficiency is nothing but the output by input. Output means the shaft work, and input is the power given by the pump. That means the head generated, the power generated, potential energy, potential power generated at the dam. Now, exactly how to measure the shaft power? For that, an arrangement is there. So this is a dynamometer. So the dynamometer is connected to the shaft of the turbine. And once the turbine is rotating, in the same moment, to find the shaft work, what we used to do, so there is a drum, a dynamometer, and a rope is wound around the dynamometer. At one end, there is a load cap where load is kept. On the other side, it's attached to a dial indicator where the load can be deflected. And at any moment, we can fix it with this help of, we can tie it or make it loose like this. But initially you have to bring it to zero position. So the objective of this dynamometer to find the torque, that before finding torque, we have to find what is the tensile force or tension induced in the tight side where the load is there, and what is the tension in the slack side. Once S1, tension in the tight side, is known, and once S2, that is the tension in the slack side, is known, and the torque is the difference of the tension into the radius of the drum, and the radius of drum can be measured by any instrument or using a thread also. Once you know the 2 pi r, the perimeter, then R can be found, or with the help of a physical instrument you can measure this. Draw the area, the radius of the drum. And once the torque is known, let us come to this point. See, so I have written yesterday, that is S1 minus S2 into R. That is R is the now the radius of the drum of the dynamometer. S1, that is the tensile force or tensor in the rope where the load is kept to make the turbine stop. And S2 is the tension in the slack side. So the difference of tension multiplied by radius of drum will give the torque. Once torque is known, and with the help of a tachometer is an instrument which measures the RPM, or the revolution of the turbine, the revolution of the shaft. Once within the tachometer, once M, that is the revolution per minute, is known, then we can find angular velocity. Because omega is 2 pi n by 60, that is meter per the radian per second. So once omega is known, turn S1 minus R, S2 into R, that is Newton into meter, is known, then we can find the shaft power, that is the power of the shaft, P into omega. Turn, which is measured by diameter, omega, which is measured by the tachometer. Once this is known, this will be now output. And what will the output? Input. So here this is a dam, but in the experiment there is no dam. But this H can be found out, and this Q can be found out by the measuring instrument. I have already told the Q can be measured by the use of Venturi meter, and head that is generated by the pump can be found out by a pressure gauge. Once H is known by using the pressure gauge of the pump, Q that can be found out using the Venturi meter which is attached, and G value, that is unquoted but always known, universal, and rho water is always 1000 kg per meter. So once this is known, 1000 kg per meter, G 9.81, Q distance, that is the continuous flow of water per minute, if it is known, height of the water that can be found out using pressure gauge is known, then input can be found out in Q1. And once input is known, then output is known, then the mechanical efficiency is the ratio between output by input, shaft work by input into 100%. That gives the percentage of efficiency. This is the objective and aim of the experiment. That's it. Thank you.